Hello everyone, and welcome to the Frontend crash course. In the previous lecture, we've learned how to add CORS policy to the server, and thus the login user request has been successfully executed. However, we haven't done anything with this response yet. To remind, the response contains some information about the logged in user, along with the access token and refresh token that we need to authorize other requests. So we definitely need to store this information somewhere on the front. And that's exactly what we're going to do in this video. First, I'm going to create a new folder named types inside the source folder. Then create a user.ts file inside this folder. Here, let's declare an interface for the user. It should be exported because we're going to use it outside of this file. Make sure to declare the fields exactly as in the response payload. We have a username field of type string, a full name field also of type string, and there's an email field of type string as well. I won't declare the last two fields because we don't use them at the moment, but feel free to add them to your code if you want to do something with them later. Next, I'm going to create another file called authstate.ts. Then declare another interface to store the state of the authenticated user. The first field is going to be a user of type user, which we've just declared in the other file. Note that this field can be null in case user hasn't logged in yet. That's why this pipe operator is used to tell TypeScript that it can be either a user or null. Similarly, the access token field can be either a string or null. And the same goes for the refresh token. You should also store the expiration time of those tokens here so that you can know when they need to be refreshed. To keep this video simple, I won't do it now, but leave it for another lecture. Alright, now let's create a new file called store.ts inside the source folder. In this file, we'll create a reactive variable named state. Its type should be authState that we've declared before. And to initialize this object, we set all its fields to null: the username, the access token, and the refresh token. Next, we'll declare a function setUser to set values for these three fields. In this function, we set state.user to the input user param, state.accessToken to the input access token, and state.refreshToken to the refresh token argument. There's a syntax error here because authState is a type, so we must use import type instead of just import. Okay, now let's create another function, clearUser, to reset the state, which will be useful when we want to log out user. In this function, we set state.user to null, state.accessToken to null, and state.refreshToken to null as well. Now, to make all of these accessible from outside, at the bottom of the file, I'm going to use the export default statement to export an object containing three things. The authState should be read-only, and the setUser and clearUser function. Alright, now let's go back to the loginuser.vue file to handle the API response. First, I'm going to create a new interface for the login response. It will contain the user, the access token, and the refresh token. Although this looks similar to the authState struct, it's actually different, because here the fields cannot be null, and we're also using snake case instead of camel case for the field names, since that's what the field name looks like in the response payload. For now, I will ignore the fields that store the expiration time of the tokens, as we can easily add them whenever needed in the future. Okay, now in the access.post function call, we can use this syntax to specify the type of the response body. As you can see, the response object now has type login response. So accessing its inner field should be simple. But remember that it only works if the call is successful. So we must add a try-catch clause around this request. If the request is successful, we will set the authState to the in-memory store that we've just written before by calling store.setUser function and pass in three arguments: response.data.user, response.data.access_token, and response.data.refresh_token. What if an error occurs? One case that might happen frequently is when user enters an incorrect password. In that case, the API will return a 404 status code and a message saying incorrect password. So we can check if error.response exists. And error.response.status is 404. Then we can set the error message to a variable as I'm doing here by declaring a ref variable and set its value to error.response.data.message. In any other error cases, we can set it to a general message such as an error occurred, please try again later. Okay, now let's learn how to use a toast to display the error message to the users. In the PrimeVue documentation page, let's search for toast. In order to use it, we have to import the toast service in the main.ts file. Then we call app.use toast service, just like how we instructed the app to use a router or PrimeVue before. Next, we can call the useToast function to get a toast in the component we want. Here's an example. If we click this show button, a message will show up on the top right corner of the page. For this message to show up on the page, we must have a toast component added to the app's main view. Or to be precise, we have to add the toast tag to the home view component like this. Make sure to have it imported in the script section. Normally, this should be done automatically for you by VS Code. Okay, now we can call the useToast function in the login user component. If VS Code doesn't import it automatically for us, we have to copy and paste in this import statement ourselves. Alright, the toast object is now available. How can we use it to show a message? Well, it's pretty simple. We just have to call toast.add function and pass in an object containing the severity, a summary, a detail, and the lifetime of the message in milliseconds, which means how long it should stay on the screen before disappearing. I'm going to copy this statement and paste it to the handle login function. In the successful case, we'll also show a message, but the severity should be success. For the summary, I'm going to say hello, followed by the full name of the user. And for the detail, let's say, you have successfully logged in. Finally, let's keep the message on the screen for 3 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna copy the whole thing and paste it to the error case. But this time, the severity should be danger as shown in this example. Oh, it seems that's not the right value. Danger is not assignable to this field. I see. I've mistakenly taken the severity of the button instead of the toast. Indeed, if we expand this example and look at the JavaScript, we'll see that the severity of the toast should be error instead. Okay, next I'm going to set the summary to login failed and the detail to error message.value. That will give users the right information about the error. Alright, let's save the file and test it on the browser. First, I'm going to enter the username and an incorrect password. As you can see, the login failed toast show up with the detail being incorrect password, and it will disappear after 3 seconds. Now let's try entering the correct password. This time we have another successful toast that says, "Hello Tech School, you have successfully logged in." Perfect. And that brings us to the end of this video. We've successfully learned how to store authentication state and display toast messages on the UI. Thanks a lot for watching, happy learning, and see you in the next one.